All right, we had a lot of talk about Texans Patriots preview. Let's throw it over now to my boy Chance Johnson, KPRC2 in Houston. He helped us break down what this matchup's going to look like this Sunday between the Texans and Patriots in New England. He's Chance Johnson of KPRC2 in Houston, covers the Houston Texans. Back on the show, Chance, good to see you again, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me back. That's a good thing. That means I did something right the first time.
Exactly. Well, we love the insight you gave us on the Texans preseason. And right after I said, we're bringing you back on for week 6. This one has a whole different meaning because the Patriots, they announced it. They confirmed it. We just heard Gerard Mayo and Drake Maye talk. There will be a rookie quarterback for the Patriots making his NFL debut against this Texans defense. They're one of the best in the league. They're led by D'Amico Ryans. But what makes this defense stand out to you, Chance?
Well, first of all, good luck to Drake Maye in his first start because he's going to see a lot of blitzing. And to me, I take it back to what we saw in week 2 when the Chicago Bears came to town on that Sunday Night Football game. D'Amico Ryans, who really isn't known for blitzing a whole lot, he blitzed a record amount when he faced off against a rookie quarterback, so I expect to see more of the same. And obviously, we both know that this Patriots offense has been struggling. I don't know if the Texans are the type of team to throw him into the fire because D'Amico Ryans is certainly going to bring the heat. But so far, this season, they've been able to take the ball away with their secondary. They've been able to get after the quarterback with their 2 defensive ends in Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter. And defensively, they've been very, very sound, kind of like that bend but don't break. And they were able to get after Josh Allen last week. So if a guy like Josh Allen, who's regarded as one of the top quarterbacks in this league, I'd say maybe top 3, and he struggled against this Houston Texans defense, went 9 for 30. What would Drake Maye do in his first start? If he goes out and balls out in his first start, that's a great sign for the New England Patriots. But as I mentioned, D'Amico Ryans is certainly going to bring the heat.
Yeah, it's scary hours around here, Chance. I want to ask you this because, I've run this by George before where I've compared D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud to Drake Maye and Gerard Mayo in the sense of both guys coming in together as rookies, so to speak, learning on the job. But the Texans were the laughingstock of the league, and they turned it around quickly. The Patriots are now currently the laughingstock of the league. Sort of give me the blueprint of what you saw. How did they turn it around so fast? Obviously, Stroud can ball and D'Amico can coach, but it has to go beyond that. What did you sort of see? How can you help us out around here in terms of a blueprint for turning it around?
Well, first of all, boo-hoo. The New England Patriots, finally, they start to lose games after a couple of seasons now. No one knows how to react, right? For what C.J. Stroud did last year, it was really nothing short of a story, right? To me, he had one of the best rookie seasons I've ever seen, right? And really what I'm sure anybody's ever seen. For him to take, as you mentioned, a laughingstock. And it is crazy what winning will really do to organization because at the time, before C.J. Stroud came in and D'Amico Ryans took over as head coach, it was the McNairs need to sell the Houston Texans, that they were, coming out of the Deshaun Watson fiasco, I'll call it that, and some of the dysfunction they were having internally to hitting on both the head coach and the quarterback, the 2 most important positions within an organization. It'll really change the perception of an entire organization. And now they're on the up and up, right? They're the cool team. They brought in Stephon Diggs. They made a lot of other free agent acquisitions to where now they're regarded as an NFL contender, a Super Bowl contender. But once again, it all starts at the quarterback position and for them to hit on C.J. Stroud. And whether they want to admit it or not, at the time, I think if they had got the number 1 overall pick, I think they might have taken Bryce Young. I can't say that for sure, but I think he was certainly on the table. So it helped to have a Hail Mary attempt on 4th down. I don't know if you guys remember that game. It was at Indianapolis, where a lot of fans wanted them to tank that game because if they lost, they would have gotten the number 1 overall pick, and if they had won, they would have solidified themselves as the number 2 overall pick. And Davis Mills hit on a Hail Mary to win that game in Indy. A lot of people weren't happy at that time, and now here they are with, I'd argue, a top 5 QB and a guy who's still on the rise and continues to get better each and every week. And so, yeah, the blueprint is go ahead and get yourself a C.J. Stroud. Only issue is there's only one quarterback like that in the league. So good luck with that to Drake Maye. Though I have seen some flashes of talent from Drake Maye. Once again, I just don't know if this will be the week we'll get to see that on full display.
Yeah, it's going to be different. And I like that you point that out. I remember that Lovie Smith, watching that happen, he said to the Houston Texans, the McNairs, F your number one overall pick. Go shove it. And he saved the franchise.
Absolutely.
And this is a franchise that canned Lovie Smith after 1 year, canned David Culley after 1 year, canned Romeo Crennel after next year.
Yep.
And what have they done now? They've hit on the quarterback. They've hit on the head coach. They hit on the GM because Nick Caserio has doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on getting the most out of CJ Stroud in a cost control contract. And I love the structure they have. But getting back to what you said, have you seen the flashes from Drake Maye? Chance, we saw it in the preseason against vanilla defenses. DeMeco Ryans isn't going to mess around. And you pointed it out. He likes to blitz. And nonetheless, we will see Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson go up against two backup, third, or fourth string tackles, however you want to look at them. That's what spells the trouble. And you mentioned what they did to Josh Allen. What Gerard Mayo likes about Drake Maye, he's athletic with a big arm. Let me put both my fingers there. Two things that stand out. Well, Josh Allen's more athletic, and Josh Allen has a bigger arm than Drake Maye. What did this Texans defense do to make Josh Allen literally a non-factor?
Yeah, I think it helps the Houston Texans last week that the Buffalo Bills, they were missing Khalil Shakir, and he's really their number one wide receiver ever since Stephon Diggs moved on. But they were really able to really get after Josh Allen, and the plan for them was to keep him in the pocket, not let him use his legs and escape and make plays, and it really worked out. That was one of the worst performances that I've seen Josh Allen have overall, and I remember leaving the game. I didn't notice it at the time, but I checked the box score, and I said, does that say 9 for 30? Like, that's crazy for a guy of his talent, whether Shakir's on the field or not. And so their game didn't work last week. But I would say for New England Patriots fans, something to maybe hold their hats on. If you go back to last year, still with DeMeco Ryans leading this defense, last year they lost to the Carolina Panthers on the road, where Bryce Young finally was able to have one of his better performances of the season. A lot of the Texas fans were really disappointed in that performance. They also went on the road and in Atlanta, and Desmond Ridder threw for 300 yards. And people are like, what is going on with this Texas defense? And the Texans lost on the road to the Falcons. So the Houston Texans, they've been able to find ways to win close games, but everybody around the building and people who cover this team and fans will tell you they're 4-1, but they haven't come close to playing their best football yet. They've shot themselves in the foot a lot of times with penalties. CJ Stroud, as great as he was last year in protecting the football, he's had some moments where he had a couple picks. He had one last week where he was driving against Buffalo, and then he coughed it up on the next possession. So turnovers have been there as well. And so if the Patriots, if they can put some drives together and put themselves in a position to win that game, they could surprise a lot of people, though. I expect the Texans once again to get after Drake Maye and really try to put this game to bed early and do what they're supposed to do as heavy favorites.
Yeah, but you see that, George? Chance has the receipts. You mean to tell me Bryce Young and Desmond Ridder had success against this defense? Maybe there is hope for Drake Maye. Chance, I want to go back on something you said. It was a direct quote. You said, I've seen flashes of talent, at least in Drake Maye. You watch CJ Stroud every day. You've seen flashes in Drake Maye. Can you help us feel a little bit better? Tell us what we should be looking for early and often, this game and beyond, by the way, for Drake Maye. What are some early signs as fans and in the media we need to see from Drake Maye where we can feel better about the future? Because Lord knows, behind this offensive line and with this lack of weapons, we're not going to see a ton of it. But just give me some signs, some early signs where you would look and say you guys are going to be okay. Big picture.
Well, I think big picture is, first off, don't let this debut, if it goes bad, right? Don't let that be what you think this is what Drake Maye is going to be, long term, right? For CJ Stroud, and he'll tell you, it really took until that second game for him to feel really comfortable. And even then, once again, CJ Stroud went on to have a historic season. I think I would be very cautious in holding every QB to a CJ Stroud standard. I would also be cautious of holding him to even some of his fellow rookies, like a Jaden Daniels, who has, even in his rookie season, has played like a top 10 quarterback. He's played better than some of the quarterbacks who are veterans in this league. Everybody moves a little bit different. And if he does have a slow start, right, it is okay. Look at another AFC East rival in the Buffalo Bills. We just talked about Josh Allen. We all know how he struggled really his entire rookie season. It took him past his first year to really get things going. But to answer your question, some of the little things that maybe from game to game will make you feel, okay, this guy's going to be okay is decision making, right? Like, is he making the right reads? If that struggling offensive line for the Patriots gives him some time to make the right throws, is he confident in his decisions in, okay, this is where my first, second, and third read should go, right? Is he able to go through offense progressions? To me, that's the type of stuff that you look for. He might turn the ball over, but if he doesn't turn the ball over, that's another good sign that he values protecting the football. But as a rookie, you're going to go through your lumps. Once again, everybody moves at their own pace. The issue is in this league, even though everybody moves at their own pace, will this organization be patient with them investing such high draft capital? I believe that they will, but I think Drake Maye will be okay, but time will certainly tell.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't mind him making his debut. I would like it a lot more if there was structure and a supporting cast around him, because you point out everything that CJ Stroud did in his rookie season. There was a good offensive line. He had Nico Collins. They drafted Tank Dell, who CJ Stroud handpicked out of college. And I can't say enough that they had Bobby Slowick calling plays. What my hesitancy is with Drake Maye is I don't trust the play calling. I don't trust the playmakers.
Yep.
I don't trust the offensive line. But I understand. And that's what I love about the Texans, because I said it, Chance. We will see Sunday the blueprint on how you bring along a rookie quarterback of any level. We'll see what the Texans did, which is how to, and we'll see how the Patriots did, which is how not to. But I want to get to Nico Collins landing on injured reserve, dealing with a hamstring. CJ Stroud and Nico Collins have been the best connection in the NFL this season, in my opinion, between a quarterback and any single receiver. What does Nico Collins out of the lineup do to this offense, though, Chance?
So real quick, I definitely will answer your question, but I want to go back to what you were just saying as far as the structure that the Texans had in place. To me, that's a feeling around the NFL that I feel like has been a little bit of a revisionist history. Because if you remember, when C.J. Stroud first came to the Houston Texans, people were saying, once again, that the Texans organization was not set up properly for a rookie QB to come in and succeed. Remember, the Carolina Panthers were the darlings as far as the best situation to come in, and we see how that worked out. And the Texans really, this is before Nico Collins had broke out to be one of the better wide receivers in this league. The offensive line had question marks. They didn't have really a run game last year, and they didn't have a run game the year before. So to me, what that says about C.J. Stroud is his ability to elevate this Texans offense, and yes, it worked out that Nico Collins, we have seen the talent, but Nico Collins is really the same guy, just helped that he was able to raise that floor. And so that's something that I think you should look out for with Drake Maye, because if he does play well and he's able to be that decision maker and help out this offense, that just tells you Drake Maye is the type of guy who will potentially be the ceiling of this offense.
He was Chance Johnson, KPRC2 Houston, covers the Texans. Love that insight from him, T, and I loved him pointing out just the elevation that they look for Drake Maye to do to the offense. I agree. Yep. I disagree with Chance on saying the structure wasn't that great. We saw it happen, and we saw Nick Caserio in that front office hit on so many spots, and at least they got, you know how I stand, an actual left tackle, actual offensive lineman. They got actual playmaking receivers. But yes, it's revisionist history. I'm excited to see what Drake Maye can do. And if he elevates an offense, and he will ignite this locker room as well, T.
Yeah, George, I'll be honest with you. I super believe in the Texans to the point where I'm using the word super because I could see them in the Super Bowl. I know Kansas City hasn't lost yet, but man, the Texans, the way they're playing right now, Kansas City being a little vulnerable this season, I feel like the Texans could get it done. They play Kansas City in December, back-to-back weeks. Kansas City, Baltimore. We're going to learn a lot about this Texans team. Not this week against the Patriots. We know how that's going to go.
We'll see. Maybe they're looking ahead to the Packers next week. Would do the Patriots a favor. Again, that was Chance Johnson, KPRC2 of Houston. Thanks again to Chance hopping on the show.